All right, you talk about a glam position in college football. Sam Bam Cunningham, Marcus Allen, Charles White, USC tailback. It is tailback U for a reason. The tradition is long and illustrious. And who is the next one to star in that spot? We bring in Nick Dempsey from Conquest Chronicles as we come your way each and every Wednesday night to talk USC Trojan football, coming off a big Rose Bowl win, and thoughts of a national championship are out there and being talked about all over the place. But first comes breaking down the positions as we head towards spring camp, Nick. And Ronald Jones is a guy that's electric. This is a guy that I love to watch play. Those games that he doesn't get as many carries as I think he should get, I'm always clamoring for him to get the football because I just think the guy's exceptional.
Yeah, he does some amazing things. He actually started out sort of at the number 2 slot at the beginning of last season, and that was in large part because Justin Davis was a more complete back, which most of the time is a fancy way of saying he blocks better on passing situations. But Justin Davis got hurt last year. Ronald Jones slides into the one position and takes off. And he went from just sort of spelling Davis to leading the team in carries, 177 touches, over 1,000 yards, 6.1 yards a carry, 12 touchdowns. But so he's going to need another year to get better, to become a more complete back. But he absolutely became the leading man in the backfield for USC. There's no reason to think he won't be the leading man coming into the spring ball and probably be at the top of the depth chart for the position coming in. Having said that, though, Clay Helton loves his balance, and he loves to use multiple backs. Sometimes people question the way he uses them because he'll frequently switch from possession to possession or even play to play, but he uses 2 and 3 backs. So there was plenty of guys last year, Ronald Jones, Justin Davis, Ware, Sam Darnold got in on running, Dominic Davis. Everybody got tons of touches last year. So it's not just going to be Rojo. There's going to be several other guys. Now, behind him, Cedric Ware and Dominic Davis, both juniors, both were 3-star recruits. They're coming in. Ware had the 3rd most touches at like 75 to 80, I believe. He's coming in. He's probably going to be at the number 2 spot in the depth chart, at least going into spring ball and fall camp. And right behind him, Dominic Davis, who actually had fewer rushing attempts than Sam Darnold. Which either says a lot of good things about Sam Darnold or not many good things about Dominic Davis. I'm not sure. But both of those guys are going to be juniors this coming season in 2017. Both of them were 3-star recruits. Not that that matters a whole lot now that they've been in the system. So you would think Rojo, Ware, and then Davis are your top 3 going in just because they're there. But right behind them, a guy that redshirted last year, his freshman year. So he's a redshirt freshman. He's a 4-star recruit. And here's a $5 name for you, Mark. Vava Malupeai. Yes. He highly touted out of high school. Last year in fall camp, I believe, over the summer at some point, he broke his shoulder blade. Was gonna miss at least September and I believe part of October. He just ended up redshirting. By all accounts, he's perfectly back and healthy now. But he has no touches in game, so he has no experience. But he's a higher touted recruit coming out of high school than Davis or wherever were. So he should be absolutely in the mix for competing for the 2 and 3 spot on the depth chart. And then right behind him was the highly touted 5-star recruit Stephen Carr, who took a little longer to announce his commitment than we thought, or to announce the signing than we thought. But he's coming in as a 5-star right behind him. He's the highest rated recruit out of all these guys on the depth chart. So he's going to absolutely be competing for time too. It's going to be very interesting to see who kind of comes up as number 2 and number 3 on the depth chart once the season starts, because Ronald Jones seems to have a lock on number 1, assuming he stays healthy. but there's a lot of talent right behind him. There's 5 elite players in total in this unit. I believe they also have reserve players on the scout team as well. So this unit is loaded, and plenty of guys are going to get touches and get plenty of opportunities to run the ball, including the quarterback. So I think it's going to come down to who's 2 and 3 on the depth chart, and how are you going to be able to run the ball enough to sort of keep all these guys happy? But the running back position at USC is doing just fine, much to the chagrin. Sorry, Bruins fans, but plenty of running coming your way.
Well, the offense obviously plays off itself in regards to the running game, helping the quarterback, and the threat of the passing game, opening up the running game. And so for those defensive coordinators who are going to be locked on to what happened at the Rose Bowl last year and are kind of in a daze over Sam Darnold and how elite those receivers are and what damage the passing game can do, if they forget about the run, obviously USC can really hit and hurt a team on the ground. On the flip side, of course, this ground game is going to be the best friend of Sam Darnold. Those offenses that need a Luke Falk to throw it 60 times, sure, the numbers look good, but is it effective against the better teams? No. It's good to have balance, and when Sam Darnold can be limited to 30 or 35 attempts and be supported by a ground game with this type of production that we expect, as long as the offensive line's doing its job, this USC offense could be off the charts good.
Yeah, that's the hope. Although I will say about the Rose Bowl, it was very sort of atypical because Helton, again, loves to have balance, loves to run as much as he passes. And Penn State did a heck of a job taking away the run. And so in a lot of ways, that particularly the comeback, all Sam Darnold. So it'll be interesting to see. Particularly, we'll look at the USC O-line in future shows, but it'll be interesting to see how these 5 or 6 guys really kind of impact the game and who takes over and just how far. I think the most exciting thing is just how far Ronald Jones can go. I think he could be, one of those nationally elite guys that everybody's talking about. But again, he's going to have several other guys he's splitting touches with. So, the Trojans might have 25 to 40 carries a game, but maybe Rojo's only getting 20 of those instead of, some other elite running backs who are getting 30, 35 a game. So in terms of the sort of like the national rankings on running backs, he might not get there in the numbers, but he is explosive and a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm going to liken it to a lot of teams that pass the ball effectively, and we've seen elite wide receivers out of different conferences. I'll mention Odell Beckham Jr. Was he setting national pass receiving records? No. But was he showing the type of talent that was required to get to the next level and also win games at LSU? Yeah, he's not going to catch 100 passes because of the offense. This offense is going to produce rushing yardage, but because of Sam Darnold balancing it out and also because of the number of guys that are going to touch the ball, it's actually a good thing for the winning quotient. Forget the statistics that there's this much talent to choose from, and Ronald Jones is the guy, but is he going to run for 2,000 yards? Yeah, I don't see it. You don't see it, but is he going to be effective? And he going to probably run for 13 or 1,400? I would think so.
Yeah, I would agree with that.